dans le monde. Cette heure-là, à moins qu'il y ait changement clair là, verbal. Ben, c'est ça, ma petite suggestion. Si c'est pas clair, dites-le moi, là, puis je vais clarifier mon message. Fait que je vous remercie. J'espère que tout se passe bien pour vous de votre côté. Allez, Bol.
Oui, Hare Krishna, Priya Radhe. Très bonne suggestion. Donc, je vais faire suivre. It's in France, the Guru Purnim.
Oh, yeah, I was do it tomorrow.
This is a very, very important day in honor of Srila Sanatana Goswami. He was the Guru in Vrindavan for 45 years. So it's a very, very holy day. And of course, it's also the day my Guru left the world 4 years ago.
Mm.
And last night in Montreal, one devotee left the world also, Vishvambhara Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. He used to be in France. Yeah. So let's sing Ye Anilo. Let me get the songbook. Okay. Ye Anilo Premadan Karuna Prachu Ye Anilo Premadan Karuna Prachu Heno Prabhu Kotangela Achaya Taku Heno Prabhu Kotangela Achaya Taku Kahamora Svarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kahamora Svarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kahadasa Raguna Patita Pava Kahadasa Raguna Nata Patita Pava Kahadasa Kahamura Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kavira Kahamura Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kavira Hikakale Kutangela Gora Natara Hikakale Kutangela Gora Natara Pasane Kutivu Mata Anale Pasibo Pasane Kutibu Matham Hanale Pashibo Goranga Gunera Didi Kotagele Pabo Sesaba Sangira Sange Yekolo Vila Sesaba Sangira Sange Ekolo Vila Se Sangana Payan Kamde Narutamada Se Sangana Payan Kamde Narutamada Jai Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur, Jai Vaishnav Thakur, Jai Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jai Vaishnav Thakur. Jai Sanatan Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jai Sanatan Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jai Sanatan Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jai Sanatan. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Jai Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Jai Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Jai Vishvamba Prabhu, Jai Vishvamba Prabhu, Vishvamba Prabhu, Jai Vishvamba Prabhu, Jai Vishvamba Prabhu. Vishvamba Prabhu, Vishvamba Prabhu, Jai. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jai Shira Saparsha Go Virahaj Vilap Ki Jai. Shira Sanatan Goswami Ki Jai, Shira Bhakti Charu Maharaj Ki Jai, Shira Vishvambara Prabhu Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear you.
Good.
Yes, can hear you too.
Yeah, it's an extremely powerful day. So it's quite appropriate to glorify the devotees on that day. This is Guru Purnim, so Guru Tatwa. Whoever.
Is it also the appearance day of Vyasdev?
Not that I know of. That's a good question, but not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just want to confirm someone mentioned, but then
I mean, I wouldn't vouch for it, but it has to be researched.
okay.
Whoever helped you in terms of teaching, not only Haragyan, not only in terms of Divya Gyan, but even in terms of Apara Gyan, like you had a good piano teacher, a good mathematic teacher. It is also the day to remember how they helped you in your life, in your teaching. Could be Paravidya, could be Aparavidya. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's sing this Krishna Lila Stava. Sarva Shastrabdi Piyush Sava Vedika Satfal Sava Siddhant Ratnadia Sarva Loka Kadrik Pranam. O Srimad Bhagavatam would nectar churned from the ocean of all the Vedic scriptures, O most prominent transcendental fruit of all the Vedas, O you who are enriched with the jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusions, O you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world,
I don't have the copy, Prabhu. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me share the screen then. You can do Mataji. Are you there? Purnachandra Mataji?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, it was muted. Sarva Bhagavata Pran, Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu, Kalidhan Ditya, Sri Krishna Parvita, O Srimad Bhagavatam, O live heir of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master of Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. Premanande Prataya Prem Vakshi Akshayate Sarvada Sarva Sevaya Sri Krishna Namostu Me. I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. Your very syllable pours down the flood of prema. You are always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself.
Do you have it, Anishna?
On the screen, yeah.
Okay.
Madeka Bandhu Matsangin Madguru Manmaha Dana Manishtaraka Madbhagya Madananda Namastute. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisances unto you.
Sadhu Sadhuta Dayinati Nicho Chatara Anamunsha Dachin Mam Prem Narikantayos Fura. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of the very fallen, please don't ever leave me. Please become manifest upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Sanatana Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyanti Mirandasya Gyananjana Sharakaya Shakshu Militam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Shvapadontikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sanjivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopal Gopika Khan Radhakanti Namostute
Namaste.
Saptakanshane Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarikasha Kripa Sindhudevacha Patitanam Pavadibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha
Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
What do you see on my screen?
Oh, I think it's translation.
Vishnu.
Translation of what?
Vishnu Viraya Ganayam.
Vishnu no Virya Gananam Katamu.
It looks like it's not
What?
the same screen as me.
Okay.
I wonder which screen you have. Can
Oh,
you?
now you changed.
Yeah, so I'm showing you now this Bhagavad Subodhini. Can you see?
No.
No. So let me stop the share and reshare. Always
Okay.
weird.
I do have Bhagavad Subodhini.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it too.
So open page. I don't know the page actually. You search
Oh,
for chapter 7, second canto, 47 through 49. Huh?
yeah, I got it. That's page
Huh?
175.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So we covered basically, we covered quite a few incarnations,
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
like the third chapter of the first canto, quite a few, even more this time, 20, practically 27, even more. See, 38, 39 Gunavatars. Then we
Hmm.
spent 10 verses on Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, their Leela in Vrindavan. And after that, we discussed Bhakti-Mama Vijanati. It's impossible to understand Krishna without, first of all, engaging in devotional service and without his grace. What is the shlok? Or at least one or two shloks, if you can think of a shlok in Gita or elsewhere, that says you cannot advance without Krishna's grace. You cannot understand, advance, grasp anything unless you have Krishna's mercy. Can you think of a shlok?
Hmm.
Could be Gita or anything. Nayamatma pravachanena labyo nabedaya nabahuna shrutena. This is Upanishad. Unless it's not by brain power, even by ongoing pravachan. Pravachan means you hear discourses. No, it's not going to work. Yamevesha vrinute tanum swam. Sorry. Yamevesha vrinute tenalabias. It means, for such a person, vrinute means conceal. It's a verb, to conceal. This is concealed. Just like Krishna says in Gita 7:25, Naham prakasha sadasya yogamaya samavritaha. I reserve myself the right to remain concealed, to remain hidden. There is no one that can force Krishna to reveal himself. He's concealed. Tena means by him. He remains concealed. So then there's no hope. But the last line is giving us some hope. Tasyesha atma vivrinute. Vrinute means to conceal. Vivrinute means to reveal. See, the opposite. Something is concealed, you cannot find it. But someone revealed where you lost your phone, for instance. You lost your phone. Someone reveals it. Your phone is here. So in the same way, Tasyesha, Atma, this science of the cells of Atma Gyan is revealed by him. It is revealed. Tanum means body. He reveals his own body even. Twam, his own body, his own form is going to reveal. So we cannot bypass this prerogative unless he wants. You may try for years, millions of years. There's one verse it's called the Liberty Purport in the Bhagavatam, 1637. You can look it up later. Prabhupada explained it's in regard to Narad, Dasiputra in the first canto. Even if you dovetail yourself to all the formulas of pertaining to devotional service, you may or may not get it. You cannot say it's due to me. No. You cannot say it's a must. I must get it. You cannot say that. You cannot say Sadhu Sangha is bound to come to me. You may do the needful, you may follow the detailed formulas. It may come, it may not come. Bhakti is independent also. You cannot force Bhakti. So this is what we discussed up to 46. And even you cannot count the atoms. What to speak of counting the qualities of Krishna. Even Shesh, Ananta Shesh cannot finish counting. What to speak of a Jeev? What to speak of Brahma? Even Brahma is telling Narad, there's no way I can understand. I can count. I can calculate. And then we discuss a very important verse. We'll give it a touch again today. 47, very, very important verse. What is it all about, 47?
Oh, 47.
It's a very heavy verse we discussed.
47 with qualities
It's
of
about the
aspects of
yeah.
absolute Paramatma, Brahman, and Bhagavan.
Be careful, there's a lot of noise there. You have to mute yourself. Huh? So, yeah, 47 is quite loaded. Try to speak a few words and I will adapt to it. Don't worry.
Okay, 47 we dealt with the qualities of absolute truth, the Paramatma, Brahman, and the Bhagavan. And didn't we speak about the Yoga Maya here? And she was ashamed?
Yes.
And why she was ashamed? She should not be ashamed?
Yeah, she was ashamed. It's a very good point. You can carry on, whatever you know.
Yeah, I can share also.
Okay, sure.
Go ahead.
So there was this mention of whether there is three absolute truth or one absolute truth.
Yes.
This was the question that you raised.
Yes.
So the answer was there is one absolute truth, but there is three aspects: the Paramatma realization, the Brahman realization, and Bhagwan. And especially there is this mention of at the level of Paramatma realization, there was a discussion about the eternal peace, eternally peaceful. One can remain eternally peaceful, which is Sasvat Prashantanam, and others like Abhayam, fearless, Shuddham. Shuddh means pure, and Brahman realization, someone can experience unlimited happiness and they will be free from grief. However, Brahman realization is the formless aspect of Bhagavan. Just like the sun, there is the sun rays, and there is the sun itself, the planet, and then there is a demigod who is in charge of that planet. So that comes as Paramatma, Brahman, and Bhagwan realization. And so Brahman is the formless aspect of Bhagwan, as I mentioned.
Yes.
And and the discussion was that Maya, she's ashamed of standing before the Lord, so she can't do that. And you gave plenty example of why Maya feel ashamed,
Yes.
and it is not, it is a transcendental service, that it's not the shame that mundane, the feeling of that shame in the mundane way, but Maya, given the fact that she keeps away Jiva from Krishna and put them into illusion.
Yes.
So
Very good. Very good. So can you see my screen or not? What do you see on my screen?
Oh,
you're scrolling right now. There is
you are the
Okay.
original personality of
Yeah.
Godhead.
So this is Jiv Goswami. So let's spend a little time again on 47. It's a very important verse. I'm going to shift to Veda base. Can you see Veda base now or not?
No.
Okay, so it's quite amazing.
we still on the page. You are the original personality.
Yeah, so each time I shift my page, you guys cannot see. It's quite amazing.
Okay.
Anyway, Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranihite Male Apashyad Purusham Purna Mayam Shadadapashvayam. So very important verse also. Can you see my Veda base?
Yeah, now we can see them.
Yeah.
This is 174. Vijay Prabhu used to say, 1, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 4 verses on which the purpose of Bhagavatam is standing. Practically speaking, these verses are as important as the Shatushloki.
Can you mention the verses, Prabhu?
You have to learn them by heart, word to word.
174,
174, 175, 176, 177. These are very, very important verses. And they are as important as Shatushloki, as important as Mangalacharan, the first 3 verses of Bhagavatam. So it says here, 174, Bhakti Yogena Manasi. This is right after Narad, remember in the first canto, he has told Vyasadeva, what you have done is abominable. It's very heavy. Why? Because you have encouraged people at large to, in the name of religion, to partake of fruitive activities. And we know conditioned souls, by definition, they want to enjoy their senses. So they're going to be concluding, yes, this is wonderful. I can enjoy my senses in a religious way, as spoken by Vyasadeva. So Narad is quite heavy. He's telling his disciple, this is abominable. And he told him, you neglected the Katha, the Krishna Katha, and of course, Vyasadeva fully agreed. And right after Narad left, this is the verse. So Bhakti Yogena Manasi, his mind is totally engaged in Bhakti Yoga. Pranihite, there is no amale. Amale means there is no inebriety, no impurities. And whom did he see? In trance, in samadhi, apashyat purusham purnam. This is the supreme personality of Godhead. This is not Vishnu. This is not Nrsimhadev. This is not Lord Ramachandra. This is Lord Krishna himself. So it's a very important verse also. And Mayam Cha, see, she's right behind. And she's ashamed also. If you go back to 47, look at the 4th line. Maya pareti abimukecha virajamana Vilajamana means ashamed. She's ashamed. And Maya Pariti means she flies away, she flees away, she runs away. Because she's ashamed. But in 174, she's totally under full control. She is totally in full control under Krishna. She has no choice. That's why she's ashamed. Because even though she's doing a very ungrateful task, it's needed because she cannot bear that the jivas are turning their back. So she's inferior to Krishna. No one will dispute that.
So, Prabhu, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
While she's not happy that the jiva is turning the their back towards Krishna, but on the other side, it's mentioned Maya Devi put the jiva into illusion. So
Yeah.
it's like Maya is causing the jiva to go far away from Krishna. So how do we reconcile?
But as I said, it's a very ungrateful, it's a taskless, thankless task. Just like your son, just imagine some kings are so loyal and so extremely just and fair. Even their own children, they will put to jail if the guy has become a criminal, let's say. So he feels so bad, but he has to do it because just like Lord Ram had to exile Sita, his own wife, just for the sake of reputation, because he heard those hearsay from that citizen. So it's very thankless. Everyone, even Lakshmana was disgusted. He told him, next incarnation, I'll come as your Dauji, big brother. I cannot bear. So in the same way, Maya has to do it, but it's a very thankless task because she knows how much Krishna loves us. So the point of Jiva Goswami, it goes much deeper than that. Can you see my screen now? Back to Jiva Goswami.
Yeah, we can
Are you still under the base?
Oh, so small.
Are you still under the base or are you back to Jiva Goswami? What can you see? What do you see on your screen?
I can see Bhakti Yoga something.
Yeah, so you're not seeing, this is the base. So this is crazy, this system. Each time I share, I change my page, I have to stop sharing and again reshare. This is totally like primitive, crazy. So let me go back to Jiva Goswami. See? Can you see now? So in other words, she takes shelter of Krishna, number one. She's a pure devotee. And of course, she's not his Swarup Shakti, by no means. She's inferior. Krishna has got his own Swarup Shakti. That is not Maya, of course. So now let's discuss a little bit about the Swarup Shakti of Krishna. Swarup Shakti means Chit Shakti, Para Shakti. What is the Swarup Shakti? Do you understand?
Swarup is Swarup.
Swarup Shakti.
Swarup is probably, it's like in a form.
Yeah.
Swarup, is it a form?
His own form, the Shakti of his own form. This is internal energy. It's called sometimes Chit Shakti, Swarup Shakti. These are synonyms. So now if you want to go into that, you go to 176. I don't know if you have it under your eyes. Anarto Pasamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madoksha J. This is 176. And of course, 1710 also could be quoted, which is the Atmarama verse, Atmarama Shamuna Yo Nirgranti Apuru Krame. So Anarto, let's go back to 176. Let me explain a little bit. You can look it up if you have the base or Anarto Pasamam Sakshat. In other words, what is this Swarup Shakti? Swarup Shakti means his own devotional service, you know, this devotional service to himself. This is his Swarup Shakti. See? That is given by Srimad Bhagavatam. That Bhakti Yogam given to Adokshaji. Adokshaji is Krishna. The miseries of the jiv, which are superfluous. Oh, I've got a severe backache for 3 weeks. Is it my soul? Is it me, the soul, who has the backache? No, it's my body. You have a toothache. My car is finished. Is it affecting my soul? No. So all these anarthas are superfluous to the jiv. The jiv has nothing to do with matter. Atmaramas chamunayo. Even the Atmarama, those who are fully satisfied, self-contented, they are still attracted by Krishna. So what is this? See, Jiva Goswami explains here. The power of devotional service is a function of the Swarup Shakti. See, when you chant Hare Krishna, when you read Bhagavatam, we study now, we are into the Swarup Shakti. It's a function, it's not the full Shakti. It's just a function of his Shakti. Bhakti Shakti, Bhakti Devi, she's part of the Swarup Shakti. So now if the jiv partakes of this Bhakti Shakti, it takes shelter of Bhakti Shakti, Bhakti Devi, is into Devi Prakriti, is into Yogamaya, internal energy. And the qualities of the Lord, Itam Bhuta Guno Hari, the qualities are unlimited of Krishna. Krishna has got, remember in the Nectar of Devotion, 64 qualities. Those qualities partake of the Swarup Shakti also. You know? So devotional service is part of the Swarup Shakti of the Lord. The qualities of Krishna constitute his Swarup Shakti. And we are not talking about Paramatma or Brahman here. We are discussing about 47, by the way. Bhagavan includes Paramatma, includes Bhagwan, includes Brahman. This is the point. So Krishna is the source of everything. When we have discussed, Vyasadeva is so Krishna. Mayam Sadadapashrayam is so Krishna. Purnam Ishvaram. This is Krishna. This is the Krishna of Bhagavad Gita. Aham Savasya Prabhu. So Krishna is endowed with all his energies. This is the Supreme Krishna, not Paramatma, not Brahman. And now Jiva Goswami gives a beautiful example. When you see the full moon, Guru Purnim, today is Guru Purnim, it's Purnima, by the way. You see everything pertaining to the moon. You see the traces on the moon. You see the effulgence of the moon. You see the full disk of the moon. You follow? So when you have access to Krishna, you see everything with him. All the Shaktis, all his qualities. You see his Swarup Shakti. And you yourself, you are a jiva, you are like a diamond. If you have a diamond on a gold ring, Krishna is the gold ring. If you add up a diamond, it's going to magnify the gold ring. You follow? So the pure devotee is like the diamond on the gold ring. They magnify one another. You also in the Swarup Shakti because you're doing bhakti. This is the depth of that verse 47. Very, very deep verse. And of course, Jiva Goswami reminds us, Bhagavan has got all the qualities, Gyan, Shakti, Bal, Ishvarya, Virya, Yashoda. Yashoda, Yash means glories. She gives the glories of Krishna. She's Yashoda. Okay? So, and then he quotes Vishnu Puran, Ladini, Sandini, Samvit, all the Shaktis. These are the components of his Swarup Shakti. What are the constituents? Ladini, Ladini Shakti. What is Ladini Shakti?
Krishna's Krishna's internal potency, that's Radharani.
Yeah, pleasure-giving potency. Yeah? It's called, to be precise, pleasure-giving potency. She gives pleasure to Krishna and she gives pleasure to the pure devotee. When we are reinstated in our Svarup, it's called Svarup Siddhi, we're going to get some drops of that Ladini Shakti. Just a few drops. It could be coming from your Sat Guru. If your Guru is Sat, then it's going to give you, or even Srimati Radharani herself. Once you are on that level, you cannot go back to Maya. It's finished. So Ladini, pleasure-giving. Sandini, the supporting potency. When we say Sat Chit Anand, Sat means the eternality. Everything is supported, just like we discussed 216. Nasato Vijate Bhava, Nabhava Vijate Sataha. Everything is sat in the spiritual world. There is no future. There is no past. Everything is eternal present. Can you imagine? Everything is eternal. The chair, the pen is eternal. The table is eternal. And some of it, this is Sat Chit, the cognizance, the knowledge aspect. This is headed by Lord Balaram. So those three constituents or components constitute the Lord's Svarup. So this is very interesting. And they are inherent to his person. But can you imagine? They are also present in the individual personal form of the associate. Arjuna is a Parshada. Arjuna, Uddhav, Srimati Radharani, Kunti, they are also endowed with the Svarup Shakti of Krishna. They are within the Svarup Shakti. They benefit, they partake of the Svarup Shakti. Arjuna can duplicate himself unlimitedly. Not 9 forms like a yogi. They have extreme power because they are also benefiting from the Svarup Shakti, because they are, can you imagine, they are associates of the Lord. They're coming from Chit Shakti. We are not coming from Chit Shakti. I told you many times, we're coming from Jiva Shakti. So this is what Vyasadeva saw in his trance, back to 174. Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranite Male Apashyat Purusham Purnama Mayam Shadana. He saw Krishna and also he saw everyone else. He saw Srimati Radhika with all the gopis. This is the level of the trance of Vyasadeva. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur used to say in 111, Param Satyam Dimahi, Vishwanath says, Vyasadeva is so powerful, he's telling all the jivas of the universe, not only this universe, all the universes. You please come on my lap and meditate with me on Vasudeva. When we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, this is the Ishtadev of Vyasadeva, who is Lord Vasudeva himself. So he's inviting all the jivas, please come and sit on my lap. Let's meditate on Krishna. So Vyasadeva is so, can you imagine his level? Is so Krishna in his trance, is so the gopis, Srimati Radhika. And is so Maya, right behind. And she's ashamed. If you look at 47, the verb is there. Vilajamana means she's ashamed. And not only that, is so the jiv. Is called avidya vasta jiv. See, all the jivas, we are millions of jivas. The dogs, the blade of grass, a giraffe. There's how many giraffes? Can you count the jivas? But it's called avidya vasta. We form one block, one entity. Vasta means substance, avidya. Unfortunately, the jivs are into avidya. Avidya vasta jiv. So we cannot say that Maya is part of the Lord's Swarup Shakti. No. She's so ashamed. She wants to be out of his sight. She stands behind. So what does it mean? She can never influence Krishna, nor can she influence the Parshadas. You will never see, that's why they are called Nitya Siddha. They are never in Maya. They are beyond Maya. You cannot see Arjuna in Maya. You cannot see Uddhav, Vishaka, Nandamukhi. No. She cannot influence. And Baladev Vidyabhushan gives a beautiful example. Just like the king, and he has many queens, the queens are living with the kings inside the inner palaces. But there's a maid servant outside. She's dear to the king. She's conducting so many, orders on behalf of the king. She could be running the palace, let's say, but she's a maid servant. She's employed by the king. She's not living, sleeping with the king. No. She doesn't have the same privileges. See, the queen can associate with their master anytime, not Maya. So this is my question to you, right here. How is it possible that the jiv, even though it's para, we are para, prakriti, right? We can be subjected to Maya. Maya is apara. We are superior to Maya. So how come we fell into Maya? This is the question. You have to reply. Why Maya can subdue the jiv? Can you see my screen or not?
Because
Yes, go ahead.
I can see, but I cannot enlarge. I
Okay,
cannot
try your best,
enlarge.
Rinishta.
Okay.
Why we have been subdued even though we are superior to Maya?
Okay, Maya, the Lord, you keep on changing it so fast.
The answer is right under your
See,
eyes. I mean, if you
yeah,
can access
see,
the screen.
yeah,
Maya,
because we are bewildered. See if we come to our sense,
Yeah.
then without a second we can transcend the effect of external energy, which is Maya.
Exactly. And the verse is there. See, Jiva Goswami is breaking it down for us. We are baby boys and girls. Just like you feed an infant, you have to break the food. He has no teeth. He cannot swallow nothing. So Jiva Goswami is so powerful. What he does, he breaks the food so we can digest. He's quoting again, I told you 174, 175, 176, 177. Buddhism used to say these are the 4 verses on which the purposes of Bhagavatam are resting. How important are those verses? We have no idea. Yaya samohita jiv atmanam trigunatmakam parupi manutinartan tatkritam shabipadyate. See? Bewildered by that external energy, the jiv, although transcendental to the three modes, we have nothing to do with those three modes. Thinks of himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reactions of material miseries. See? Just like you have a child, let's say an adult child who lives in Australia, and he has become a criminal and is going to be hung. And you live in France. You're not suffering. You're not concerned. But because you're attached, this is your own son, you cannot sleep at night. He's going to be hung on Wednesday. You cannot sleep. Some people will even commit suicide. Technically, they have nothing to do. They're not suffering. But due to identification, you cannot function. So even though, back to Tattva, Jiva and Paramatma are within the body, only the Jiva is bewildered. Paramatma is not bewildered. Paramatma is the master of Maya, the master of Prakriti. See, what is the verse in the Gita? 13:23. Upadrashta anumantacha bhatabhukta maheshvaraha paramatmiti shapyukto dehismin purusha paraha. Purusha paraha. There's another Purusha paraha. One is the Jiv, but there is another one, very powerful. This is Paramatma. And Upadrashta anumantacha, he witnesses, he supervises, he consents, is aware of all the jivas. He is never affected by Maya. He's always beyond her. So back to that very deep question, how can the jiv come under the control of Maya, who is inferior? 2 answers, according to Jiva Goswami, because we are infinitesimal. We have discussed in the 15th chapter of the Gita. We are Kshara. What's the meaning of Kshara? Kshara.
Can we say we have qualities of Krishna, but in extremely minute.
Yeah, there's 2 terms,
quality.
Kshara and Akshara. Kshara means fallible. We are so small. You have seen a little boy, little girl is so small, it tends to fall. So we are so small that we tend to fall. We are called Anu Atma. Anu means extremely small. So because of our smallness, we tend to fall. Krishna is Vibhu. He cannot fall. He's huge. And number 2, the Parikar, the Parshadas, they are within the Svarup Shakti. They're coming from the Svarup Shakti. So how can they fall? Mahaprabhu says, any one of my Parshad can liberate a full universe in the blink of an eye. Blink of an eye, they liberate you. They have extreme powers. They can liberate the full universe in one blink of an eye. any one of the Go parikars that you see in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So number one, why do we fall? Because we are infinitesimal. And a very good point, number two, Maya can transcend logic. This is the point of Jiva Goswami. So let's get into that. Jiva Goswami is quoting 379. The illusory energy of the Supreme acts contrary to logic. Her behavior, the behavior of Maya, cannot be understood simply through logic. Otherwise, how is it possible that the Jiva, who is conscious and liberated, becomes bound and miserable? And of course, we know the answer. The cloud is coming from the sun. What is the cloud? It's water evaporated by the sun. Even though the cloud is coming from the sun's potency, it can cover you. You are walking down the road in Vancouver. You are blocked. You cannot see the sun because of the cloud. So even though the Jiva is superior, Maya has the power to cover him. This is the point. And of course, Jiva Goswami explained in relation to 47 that when Vyasadeva saw Apashyat Purusham Purnam is so Krishna, he didn't see Paramatma or Brahman. No. He saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And within, what is Krishna says in the Gita 10:42? You have seen Arjuna is asking, tell me of your vibhutis. I want to know, I want to hear of your excellences. Krishna says, I'm the skill in man and woman. I'm the beauty, the modesty of woman. I'm the splendor of the sun. For 82 vibhutis is going to describe. And then Krishna becomes annoyed a little bit. Remember 10:42? What is the need for all this detailed knowledge, Arjuna? By a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire creation. Just a little fragment, this is Paramatma. Paramatma is a little fragment of Krishna. Just with that fragment, he pervades and supports the entire creation. Just imagine the power of Krishna. Paramatma regulates all Prakriti. Paramatma is dependent on Krishna. So no need to say that Vyasadeva saw Paramatma, saw Brahman. Everything is within Krishna. Brahmano hi pratishtaham, 427. Krishna says, I'm the source of Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman is the effulgence of the Lord's body. Pratishta. Brahman is taking shelter of Krishna. Paramatma is taking shelter of Krishna. See, this is the depths of Jiva Goswami. Paramatma and Brahman are dependent manifestations of the Lord. They cannot be separated from him. But these are not features of the trance of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is so Krishna, the Supreme. So it means, what does it mean? It means Bhagavatam as what is it's called the Ishtadev. What is the Vastu Nirdesh of Bhagavatam? This is not Brahman. This is not Paramatma. We're dealing with Krishna, the Supreme. Satyam Param Dimahi. This is what Vyasadeva, that's why this verse is so important, 174. This is the purpose of the Bhagavatam. Apashyat Purusham Purnam, he saw Krishna in his trance. And he saw everyone else. The Parshadas, the Gopis, the Gopas, he saw Maya, he saw all the Jiva in their totality. That's the purpose of Bhagavatam. See, Satyam Param Dimahi. We're not dealing with Paramatma or Brahman, we're dealing with Krishna. This is the depth of that verse. 47. Okay, let's move on. 48. Sadriyam niyamya yatayo yam kartahitim jayu svaradiva nipana kanitramindraha. Go ahead.
Okay, translation. In such transcendental state, there is no need of artificial control of mind, mental speculation, or meditation, as performed by the jnanis and yogis. One gives up such processes as a heavenly king Indra forgoes a trouble to dig a well. So this one is 48.
Yeah.
Okay, so here in 48, they're comparing the jnanis and the yogis who give up their paths, right? And then people and then the ones that do the artificial way and the meditation, they give up, they finally give up because they cannot just do on their own. And they're giving the example of Indra.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of got here.
What is the example?
The example of digging the well.
Yeah.
Similarly, those who are engaged in loving service of the Lord have attained the ultimate goal of life.
Yeah, Indra is the god of rain. Does he need to dig a well to access to water? He runs the whole water element in the whole Brahman. You follow? So if you engage in bhakti, it's just like 828 in the Gita, remember? Krishna says, someone who engages in bhakti as the end result of all the other paths. You're going to get the end result of Karmakand, the end result of Gyanakand. You get all the end results if you want. Because why? Because you practice bhakti, which is the highest path. So because just like in reverse, I show you the quote. Can you see my database now? 10, 14, 4.
Oh.
Can you see? Shreya Shritim Bhakti Mudasyate Vibho. It's a beautiful word.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Klishyanti. Klishyanti means struggle. Ye keval bodalabda. Ye teshamaso kleshala evashishyate. Nanyat yatastul. Yatastul means stulatush. Means you have seen in India, the lady, even the man, they beat the grains on the basket so that the husk of rice they beat so that the grain will come out and inside the bucket. And then, but how full you are if you beat an empty husk of wheat, there's nothing inside. So in the same way, someone is on the level of bhakti. If he gives up bhakti, if he leaves his kand, go back to Karmakand, Gyanakand, it's like you're beating an empty husk of wheat. There's no grain left. You're wasting your time. So this is the point. This is the point. All these people endeavoring in Gyan, the sannyasis, they should give up and take up the path of bhakti. They should give up the sadhana pertaining to Gyan Yoga. Even we have discussed 1710 Atmarama Shamunayo. Even the Atmarati, Atmarama, they give up because you have seen the four Kumaras. Even Shukadev was a monist. He gave up. He said, to hell with everything. I'm going to study the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he became Mahachan. He became a pure devotee on the spot. They are already nirgun by dint of Jnana Yoga. They don't have to go like us, Anartha Nivriti, get purified. No, they start off from nirgun platform. So what to speak when they turn to Krishna, they become pure devotee on the spot. This is what happened to Shukdev, the four Kumaras. You follow? So Indradev is the Lord of Rain, that he doesn't have to dig a well. This is the point. Anyway, 49. Sa Shreya Samapi Vibhu Bhagwan Yato Sya Bhav Svabhav Vihitasya Sata Prasidhi Dehe Swadhatu Vigame Nuvishir Yamane Vyume Vatatra Purusho Na Vishiryate Chaha.
The personality of Godhead is the supreme master of everything auspicious, because the result of whatever action or performed by the living entity in either the material or spiritual existence are awarded by the Lord. As such, he is the ultimate benefactor. Every individual living entity is unborn, and therefore, even after the annihilation of the material elementary body, the living entity exists exactly like the air within the body. So
Yes,
here,
go ahead.
well, again, this is the understanding of how the body, when it's destroyed, the jiva, the living entity which is within the body, the soul, it's never destroyed. And here in the translation, it's also given as an example of like the presence of air within the body, and also the Prabhupada elaborates a lot on the the fate of the material body, and whereas the soul, how the soul get the chance to take birth, that means to go into another body, and somehow or other keep on elevating itself until, Prabhupada is explaining how a jiva who has done some devotional service is awarded a better position in another body, like a family of a devotee, a rich man. So somehow or other, opening the pathway for the jiva to ultimately come back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah. Exactly. So, see, there's a verse 5:16:8, I believe. Muktim dadati kalechit manda bhakti yogam. Mukund. Mukund is Krishna. Mukund. He gives mukti to whoever is fit, but he hardly gives bhakti, especially prem bhakti. Why?
Krishna can be, Krishna becomes subordinate to someone who has pure love for him.
Exactly.
He's sold out to that devotee. So it's not cheap for Krishna to give that opportunity to just anyone.
Exactly. So in 49, did you notice Srila Prabhupada, he must be quoting Jiva Goswami, because there's 5 types of mukti. What are the 5 types of mukti?
Sarupya, Sayuj. Okay. Sarupya Mukti,
Yeah.
Sayujya Mukti.
Yes. Which is hellish. It's
Bec-
called Narak. Merging.
yeah. Swarup means get the same form.
Did you say Salokya Mukti, desire to live in the abode, like with the Bhagwans or whatever thing? Isn't there one
Yeah.
like that?
That's Salokya Mukti. And Sarupya, Sahajya, Salokya. I forgot the two.
Shashti.
That's
Shashti means
Shashti.
you become
Yeah.
equally opulent as Lord Narayan.
Kavalya Mukti, Kevalya Mukti. And
Yeah,
moksha
Kevalya
is the
means
last.
basically Sayuja. It means it's hellish, it's impersonal,
Yeah.
merging. So Bhagwan is the giver of those five, and also, can you see the Sanskrit Shreyasam? Shreyasam means Purusharth, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You get all these things. From him, Bhagwan, you're going to get all the things suitable to your svabhav. Let's say you're a pure devotee, you are in your svarup as a devotee. You have seen in Golok or even in Narayan, everything is self-manifest. You need a golden tray. You go under Kalpataru tree, immediately the golden tray will appear in your hands. Everything is right manifested. So all things suitable to your svabhav of bhakti, your particular way of serving Lord Narayan or Krishna or Lord Ram, manifest to the devotee. This is the wealth of his svarup. So we could ask ourselves, then the question arises, when the upadi of Maya are destroyed? Because for the time being, we have so many upadi. You understand upadi? Sarvupadi?
Yeah, designation.
Yeah. I'm a woman, I live in Vancouver, I've got a Volkswagen. These are upadis. So when are they destroyed? When is it when the jiva is destroyed, or does the jiva remain? So 50, Brahma, he explained about that in 49, sorry. Even the body is dissolved. Your gross body, we know, he died in the kitchen, or he died in a car accident, whatever. The subtle elements are going to dissolve. Your mind, intelligence, Bud and Buddhi, where are they going? They go back to the elements. And then the causal elements, the dhatu is called, is destroyed. The causal elements means the cause for your appearance in this life. That's destroyed. But the jiv is not destroyed. Is aja. We discussed in 220. Ajo shashvato yampurano nahanyate hanyamanesh. The jiv is not destroyed. And the example is beautiful in 49, just like the air. Can you destroy the air in your body?
No way.
Even in a cadaver, in a corpse, there's still some air in the body. You cannot get rid of the air. Why do you think you are floating when you swim? Because there is air in your body. As simple as that. So this is, now we discussed way back in 47, very important verse 47. We discussed, it says in 47, if you look at the Sanskrit, Shashvat Prashantam. This is the nature of Vaikuntha. Shashtam, it says Shashvat Prashantam in 47, the first line. So this is the nature of Vaikuntha. This verse here, 47, basically indicates the supreme abode of Krishna, of Bhagavan. So Brahma, you're going to see in this canto, is going to be shown Vaikuntha. Lord Narayan will be so happy with Brahma, sorry. He will invite him to some excursion. Just like you guys are going to Gita Nagari, sorry, to what you call it?
Sharanagati.
As an excursion, for 5 hours. So in the same way, Lord Narayan will invite, he said, I'm very happy with you. You come to visit me in Vaikuntha. You will see coming up very soon. He's going to show him the nature of Vaikuntha. The verse is coming, 299. The Lord, gratified by his worship, who showed Brahma Mahavikunt, it's called Mahavikunt, to which nothing is superior, which is free of suffering, confusion, fear of offenses. You cannot make a parade, which is praised by the devotees who constantly see the self. No one, even the demigods cannot access. It's too high. It's too high. You cannot access Vaikuntha. Only the Mahabhagavats, those who have accepted Shirishti, Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya. But even the Mahabhagavat, they refuse those four. There's a verse, 329:13, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It explains they refuse even. Can you imagine the level? They refuse those mukti. They say, no, this is mine. Just imagine the level of these devotees. They refuse entrance in Vaikuntha. This is the level. They're saying no. Even if it is offered by Krishna or Lord Narayan, they refuse. This is Gaudiya. Extremely advanced person. You could say, well, they refuse because that's not their rush. Their rush is Navadvip or Golok. So they don't want to go to Vaikuntha. Anyway, let's move on. This is 50.
Oh, 50.
So yam te bihitas tatha Bhagwan Vishva Bhavanaha Samashen Hareyananyat Anyasmat Sadasas Chayat.
Okay, my dear son, I have now explained in brief the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is creator of the manifested worlds. Without him, Hari, the Lord, there is no other courses of phenomenal and nominal existence. So here, how to respond to the argument that the mystery in this material world is not solely the creation of Supreme Lord. So here we have so we have here we have considered like how some might argue the being of the material was how is it suffering is solely of the influence overlooking the individual responsibility.
Yeah, your voice is breaking up. The connection is not so good.
That's what I kind of got.
Yeah, your connection is quite poor today. Yeah? Yeah, so can you see my screen? I'm showing you. See, this is a very important. We are at the end of chapter 7, and this section 50, 51, 52, 53. This is, can you imagine, the summary of chapter 5, 6, 7. So you better listen carefully. This tiny section, this is the summary of 3 chapters. Chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7. starting from 50. So what do we learn here? This is Narad. Sorry, Brahma speaking to Narad. And of course, it sounds like 7/2 in the guitar. What is the 7/2? Nas Suragana. What is the verse? I'm forgetting. 7/2. No one knows me. The Suragana do not know me. The Rishis, the Saptarishis, the Patriarchs, no one knows me. Krishna says to Arjuna. You cannot know me, just like you cannot know your father unless he reveals himself to you. You cannot know your father before you were born. There is no way. Name vidu suragana prabhavan na maharshayaha aham adir hi devanam maharshinam sha savashaha. They don't know me. So this is the point of Brahma. Without him, there is no cause. There's no other causes to the phenomenal, means the spiritual world, and the noumenal existence, means the material world. There's no cause. Is Sarva Kavakaranam is the cause of the causes, Krishna. So this is a very deep verse, and as I said, we are going to wrap up now.
Okay.
We're going to wrap up 5 chapters. I mean 3 chapters, chapter 5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7.
This is 50 is dealing with Tatashta Lakshan. There's 2 types of Lakshan. Lakshan means symptoms. Swarup Lakshan and Tatashta Lakshan. You follow? Do you understand those terms? Swarup Lakshan?
Yes.
Swarup Lakshan means the main symptoms. Just like in the verse Anyabilashita Shunyam Gyana Kamana Vritam Anukulyana Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktirutama. That defines pure devotional service. There is some points which are Swarup, primordial, and other aspects are Tatashta, marginal. So 50, we are dealing with Tatashta Lakshan. Sat, can you see the Sanskrit? Very interesting.
Yes.
Anyasmat sat asat chayat. So we say sat. So sat is the gross aspect. What is the gross aspect? We are the gross aspect. The world is the gross aspect. This is Maya. This is Maya Shakti. It's not pure. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained the Jiv in his conditioned state is Apurna Shakti. Apurna means impure. We are impure. So it's called Sat, the gross aspect. And even the world of Maya is impure. There are conscious entities, unconscious entities. And it says in 50, Asat, see? Sat, Asat. Asat means the subtle cause, means the pure Jiv. We are pure. We are eternally pure. There's a part of us which is pure. It's called Asango Yajam Purusha. You cannot contaminate the Jiv. Just like if you put oil and water, for sometimes it tends to merge, but after some time it separates again. The Jiv, even the Jiv in the pig, has nothing to do with the pig. So it's called Asat, the subtle cause. There's part of you which is the pure soul. 13 to 33 in the Gita explained very nicely. Just like we are Aham Brahmasmi, we are pure soul. So in the same way, the sky is everywhere. You can look at through your window, the sky is there. The sky is inside your room. if you have a bottle of water on your table, even if it is sealed, there is air in the bottle. So the air is everywhere, but still it is distinct from the externals. You follow? This is the verse in 1333. Because the sky is very subtle, it doesn't mix with anything, even though it's all pervading. In the same way, the soul is Brahman. It doesn't mix with the body, even though you have entered the body of a pig. The soul doesn't mix with the body of the pig, even though it's within the body of the pig. So this is the point. It's very subtle science. It's called Atma Gyan. This is the point. Very deep, extremely deep science. We should teach that in the school. These Gundas do not want us to teach. So when we say here, 50, Sat, Asat, Chayat, Asat means the subtle cause. There is a part of us which is a pure Jiv and Pradhan, conscious, unconscious. There is always a part of us which is pure. So when we say Sat, Asat, can you see? Sat, Asat, Chayat is none other than Krishna. The subtle aspect Asad is Shakti. We are Shakti Tadva. We are not Shakti Tadva. We are Jiv Shakti. We are Shakti. We are Jiv Shakti. And unfortunately, we have a body. That's the gross aspect. That's the effect. You follow? Why the pavement is wet? That's the effect, because it has rain. The cause is the rain. The effect is the pavement is wet. So because we, the soul, we are marginal, we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. We have misuse of free will. What is the gross effect of that? Is the body and the world. We have fallen into the world of Maya. But we could say, Narad is telling in 1.5.20, remember? Hidam ivishvam bhagavan ivetaro. Narad is telling 1.5.20, the Lord is non-different also from the cosmos. So the Lord is everywhere, but he's not contaminated like us. That's why it says in 50, anyasmat. Can you see? Anyasmat. Anyasmat means he's different. He's different. He's different, is non-different. It's always the same philosophy. Krishna is like that. He's different and non-different. He's there, he's not there. That's the beauty of Krishna. You cannot catch him. You cannot catch him. Unless he reveals himself. This is a very good verse 50 to dismantle those who say that the source of creation is Brahman. They say, oh, everything is coming from Brahman. Brahman has no qualities. So this is 50. 50 says, can you imagine? It says, Anyasmat Sadasat Shayat. And you will see in the Shatushloki coming up to 933, the same point, Nanyat Yat Sadasat Patram, same point. Before the creation, Krishna will tell Brahma, there was nothing else but me. There was no material nature. There was no cause. Can you imagine? There is no cause. Krishna is beyond the cause. There is nothing but Krishna. Actually, when you boil it down to what it is, there's nothing but Krishna. Whatever you see is Shaktis at work. Just like when you drive down the road, you see a sign, "Man at work." Did you notice? So wherever you go, we could put a sign everywhere, Shaktis at work. Your body, what is it? Shaktis at work. You drive down the road, Shaktis at work. You go on vacation on the sea, on a big cruising ship, Shaktis at work. Everything is transformation of Shakti. And which they're not different from Krishna. Yes, but Krishna is also elsewhere. You follow? This is the philosophy. Goloka nivasati akilatma bhuta. Krishna is everywhere, but he's also in Golok. So at the end of the day, there is nothing but Krishna. Even Brahman is nothing but the effulgence of Krishna. Brahman is above the cause and effect. But Krishna says it's not different from me. So this is why people get bewildered. They're saying, oh, they get caught up by Brahman, everything is Brahman. But behind Brahman is Krishna. Anyway, it's a very deep verse. I don't hear you very much.
But there is so much to hear.
Yeah,
It's
as I said,
kind
you know, Brahma is concluding 3 chapters, chapter 5. Chapter
Yeah.
it's a very dense part of the Bhagavatam. Is concluding. So that is why many scriptures, they cannot understand the form of Krishna. That is why in Brahma even himself will say, Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto. Even the Vedas do not suffice. It's not sufficient. Remember in the Gita 245, Tregunya Vishaya Veda, Nis Tregunya Bhava Arjuna. You have to go beyond the Vedas, Arjuna. It's not sufficient. That is why Bhakti Thakur has understood. What does he say? Hey Vaishnava Thakura is running after Vaishnava Thakur.
Shankar.
He knows Dharma Nihitam Guhayam. The absolute truth is hiding in the heart of a Mahabhagavat. It's not hiding in Vaikuntha. It's not hiding in the Vedas. It's hiding Dharmam Nihitam Guhayam Sattva. It's hiding in the heart of a Mahabhagavat. Like today, Sanatan Goswami. Mahaprabhu used to say, he's my guru. He has contracted every case of eczema with pus. And can you imagine the level? He had worms in his wounds. And when the worms will roll out of his wounds, Sanatan Goswami will put the worms back in the wound. And then he resolved to himself, my body is so filthy due to my karma, I'm going to commit suicide. On the day of Rath Yatra, I will roll under the wheels. And Mahaprabhu is Antaryami. He told him, he went to the house of Haridas Thakur, Sanatan Goswami was living there. And he can know everything. He's Antaryami, Mahaprabhu. And he told, why do you want to use something which doesn't belong to you? Why do you want to dispose of something which doesn't belong to you? Your body doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me. why you want to dispose it of. And then forcibly, because Sanatana Goswami was so ashamed each time Mahaprabhu would come and visit Haridas Thakur, Sanatana used to live there, he would forcibly hug the body of Sanatana Goswami. And can you imagine, the body of the Lord would become apparently solid by the wounds of on the body of Sanatana. Mahaprabhu said, this is pure nectar. And then all of a sudden he gave him a resplending body. So we cannot judge a pure devotee like Sanatana Goswami. Yeah. So we'll stop here. I think, what's the time? I don't see exactly.
It's almost time.
We started at,
It's 9:45.
at 6 or 8. 6, we'll stop. No,
But
actually,
that's
we're still within the
But it's
time.
okay.
We're still within the time.
Yeah, we are
yeah.
still.
So anyway, that's the idea of these verses. They're very deep. We cannot, at best, many Shastra, they deal with Brahman knowledge. Krishna is reflected in this Shastra in his impersonal form. But in the material world, we don't understand spiritual variety in the material world. It's not understood. So Krishna says, okay, I appear as the non-differentiated Brahman. But in the spiritual world, I appear in my own form. You love me as Narayan, I appear as Lord Narayan. You love me as Lord Ram, I appear as Lord Ram. You love me as Lord Gauranga, I appear as Lord Gauranga. You love me as Lord Krishna, you love me as Lord Vamdev, I agree. What do we see of Krishna here? We just see the undifferentiated Brahman, just like Krishna says in 9.4. Madhatatamidam savam jagadavakta murtina, avyakta murtina is called. Avyakta means non-manifested, murti. This is Brahman. And people stop there. Okay, this is but the devotee goes further. He says, Hiranmayena patrena satyasya peitan mukam. I want to go beyond. Show me your face. Muk, beyond Brahman. So this is the verse. This is beautiful. Let's carry on a little bit. Idam bhagavatam nam yeme yanme bhagavato ditam sangraho yam vibhuti nam tametat vipuli. Kuru.
O Narada, this science of God, Srimad Bhagavatam, was spoken to me in summary by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it was spoken as the accumulation of his diverse potencies. Please expand this science yourself.
Yeah. So see, we are on the threshold. We are on the threshold of the Chatur Shloki. This is coming up soon, chapter 9. So remember, those Chatur Shloki, remember 29, 33, 34, 35, 36. This is the collection of the Lord's vibhutis. And it was spoken by Lord Krishna himself to Lord Brahma, you will see. Can you imagine, again, I'm reminding you, Lord Brahma was born on atop the wheel, the whirl of the lotus. Then there was this lotus is growing from the navel-like depression of the Lord Dabodagashai Vishnu is so big that even in his navel there's an ocean. You follow? Don't sing. Actually, that this is the ocean on which Lord Ganesha Vishnu is lying. No, this is just, we're talking about the ocean within the navel. Can you imagine the size of the navel? So what happened is there was a storm out there with big waves. So, and the stem of the lotus was vacillating. So what happened is Lord Brahma was lost. There's nothing. There's no Visarga. There's no creation. There is no Maya. There's nothing. So he was afraid. Then he entered the stem of the lotus and he went down and so for such a long time. And again, he became more afraid because he can't find the bottom. Even though he was close to it, he went back up. Then he heard tap, tap, tap. So what did he do? He performed austerity for 1,000 celestial years. And then finally, what did he hear? He heard the flute of lotus.
Yeah.
And then that flute became Mahavakya. Mahavakya means the Om, then Dhimahi, the Gayatri, because remember, Lord Brahma is going to marry Gayatri. He has two wives, Gayatri and Saraswati. So then from the flute, the Mahavakya, the Om, then Gayatri mantra, and then you know the verse, Tene Brahma Rida Adikavaye Muyanti. Not this one. Adikavi. Adikavi means Brahma, is Adikavi. Tene Brahma. Brahma means not Vedic knowledge. He has received Ridi Adikavaye. He has received in the heart. Ridi means in the heart. So he heard the sound of the flute, then Mahavakya Om, then Gayatri, and then Shatoshloki. Can you imagine? So the Shatoshloki we're going to discuss 29, 33, 34, 35, 36. They are coming from the Gayatri. This is very powerful verse. So this is what we are already getting some preview right here in 51. Those 4 verses we're going to hear soon. It's a collection of the Lord Vibhutis. And see, 51 is very interesting. Brahma is telling, you please expand on them. Is Narad going to do it himself or not? You should know the answer because we already covered the first canto. Is he going to do it?
What's the question?
See,
what's the question again, Prabhu?
In 51, Brahma is telling Narad, you please expand this science yourself. So my question is Narad going to do it himself? Yes or no?
No.
No, very good. And what's going to happen?
He's going to hand over this task to Vyasadeva.
Very good. Excellent. And what is the proof? You have to know all these things because people will speculate. Even devotees will speculate. They will say, what is the proof?
Well,
Proof is Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, but you have to tell them that Bhagavatam is twofold. See, you have to be very careful. Garud Puran explained Bhagavatam was written even before Mahabharata, even before Vedanta Sutra. And what is the proof? 178. Sutta is telling, Sa Samitan Bhagavatim Kridva Nukramya Chatmajam. This is the point. Kridva Anukramya. Before Mahabharata, before Vedanta Sutra, Vyasadeva gave a blueprint of the Bhagavatam. He gave a succinct, like a rough draft, very succinct draft. And then he put it aside. Then he composed Mahabharata, or Vedanta Sutra, sorry. Then Mahabharata. And then he became despondent. Remember? First canto. Then Narad came. Then 174, we discussed today. Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranite Male Apashyat Purusham Purnam Mayam Shadada Pashrayam. Then he understood at the topmost of his maturity, in his trance, he saw Apashyat Purusham Purnam. He saw Lord Krishna. Not only Lord Krishna, all the Parshadas, Srimati Radharani, the Gopas, the Gopis. He saw Maya ashamed. She's ashamed of herself. She's like a maid servant. He saw the aggregate of all the jivs, Avidya Vasta jiv. And then the proof is there, 178. What did he do? Kritva Anukramya. He went back. He revised his Bhagavatam. He went back to his original blueprint of the Bhagavatam. Then he corrected it. Then he revised it. Then he finalized it. See? So Bhagavatam you have to tell people it was done in twofold.
So, I have a question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So Mahabharat, the pastime of Mahabharat, can we say it happened 5,000 years ago?
Yeah. See.
So as you're mentioning that Bhagavatam was written way before, which I can relate, Brahma telling Narada, then Narada telling Vyasa. So do we understand that whatever was to happen, like Mahabharata, was already predicted in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Vyasadeva wrote at that time, and only after that Mahabharata took place?
Exactly. In other words, Mahabharata in Kali Yuga is considered fifth Veda. Prabhupada explained in Kali Yuga, Mahabharata is as more important even than Vedanta Sutra. Because people are Stri Shudra Vijabandhunam, people are, Mahapatita. They are Shudra, Stri, Vijabandhu, Mahafallen. So for them, Vedanta Sutra is out of the question. So Mahabharata was composed, but even after having composed Mahabharata, first Vedanta Sutra, Mahabharata is despondent because he gave too much importance to the secondary purposes of the Vedas, Karmakand, Gyanakand, Upasanakand. Then he got rectified by his guru, then Bhakti Yogena Manasi, 174, and then finally 178. He went back to his first work, he finalized it. So let's go back to 51. That instruction given to Narad is way back, way back. That is the proof that Bhagavatam is very old. See, we have to understand Bhagavatam was given in its essence to Brahma at the dawn of creation. So we cannot say Bhagavatam is recent. No. The Shatushloki, as I told you before, is basically the expansion of the Gayatri mantra. This is Shabda Brahman, Shabda Praman, the evidence of the sound. This is original Bhagavatam, Shatushloki. Then he's telling in 51, please expand on it. And what's going to happen? The Guru is going to delegate to his disciple. Yes, you please do it. So what's going to happen, you go back to the first canto, 178, is revising it. What does it mean? is going to expand it into 18,000 shlok. From the first shlok, Chatur Shloki, is going to expand it into 18,000. 335 chapters. So what we have in our hands today in ISKCON, this is the final shot of the Bhagavatam. And then Shukadev, Vyasadev himself, he mentioned that in 113, Nigama Kalpatalo Garitam Phalam. This is the desired fruit of the whole Vedic tree. You cannot find anything higher. Sridhar Swami explained 113 was composed even before Bhagavatam, even before Vyasadev went back to his job. So 113 is very important shlok. Because what happened is, you have to understand, it's a very deep topic. When Vyasadev, he wrote the blueprint of Bhagavatam, then he put it aside. Then he wrote Vedanta Sutra, but he wrote Vedanta Sutra in the mood of the Bhagavatam. Then he wrote Mahabharata in the mood of the Bhagavatam. And only because he was despondent and Narad corroborated, yes, you haven't sufficiently glorified Krishna. Then he went back to it. So what do we have in our hands is the total mature fruit of the whole Vedic tree. There's nothing higher than this. Plus, it is spoken by the highest exponent, Shukadev Goswami. Okay, let's carry on. Yata Haro Bhagavati Rinam Bhakti Bhavishyati Sarvatmanya Kiladare Iti Sankalpya Varnaya 52. Can you read 52?
Please describe the science of Godhead with determination and in a manner by which it will be quite possible for the human being to develop transcendental devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Hari, the supersoul of every living being and the summum bonum, source of all energies.
So, do you want to say anything?
Well, I personally, when I'm reading the translation and even the purport, all these descriptions are meant for us to get purified in our heart.
Yeah. See, this is the culmination practically. This section is so advanced. He's giving the order to his son. Brahma is the first living entity. He's giving the order to his son to write the Bhagavatam. And Narad delegated the whole thing to Vyasadeva. So this is parampara. And you have to write it in such a way so it can be appealing to the jiv. When you teach, you have to make it appealing to the students. You follow? So you have to be impregnated by the mood of the Bhagavatam. And you have to explain it with determination in such a way that people will be enamored, that it will give rise to bhakti, just like back to those 4 shloks. 177, I believe. Remember? Yasyam ve shruyamanayam, Krishna parampurushe, bhakti upadyate pumsa shoka mohabayabaha. What happened is, upadyate means to sprout up, just like a flower sprouting up in the garden. So Vyasadeva, Sutta Goswami explained that Vyasadeva knew if people give oral reception to Bhagavatam, what's going to happen is Bhakti Utpadyate Pumsa. This is very good. Pumsa means a man. Bhakti will arise, will sprout up in the heart of the jiva. Then Shoka Moha Bhaya. Shok, lamentation, Moha, illusion, Bhaya, fear will vanish away. It's all in one. Bhagavatam is all in one. Buddhism used to say, it's the processor of your spiritual life. You cannot go higher. Okay, 52, let's see.
Prabhu, it's already 10:04.
Yeah, we'll stop
Should
here.
we
No, we'll stop here. This is Swarup Shakti. We discussed about Swarup Shakti. This is filled with Swarup Shakti of Krishna. It's super excellent. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Bol.